Have you heard about this Brazilian film, I'm Still Here? It's making waves like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, yeah. It's really put Brazilian cinema on the map.
Yeah. Today, we're diving deep into this film, how it's done so well around the world, and the impact it's had.
One of the things that's really impressive is its distribution. It became the widest ever released Brazilian film in North America.
Wow. And, usually foreign language films have such a hard time getting noticed in North America.
Yeah.
But this one, it totally flipped the script. They got this deal, got it into all the major theaters across the U.S. and Canada.
Yeah, I think that was a super smart move. It allowed them to reach a much bigger audience by partnering with these huge distributors. Just shows that a good story can overcome any language barrier.
Totally. And people are loving it. Over $27 million worldwide.
Wow.
And it might even pass City of God, which, made about $30 million globally.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was a landmark film. But the box office is one thing. But what's really interesting to me is how it's resonating with audiences across the globe. I mean, over $10 million outside of Brazil? That's rare for a foreign language film.
It really is. You got to wonder what it is about I'm Still Here that's connecting with so many people all over the world.
Well, I think the storytelling feels very authentic. And the themes, love, loss, resilience, those are universal. Plus, you can't ignore the setting, Brazil in the 1970s.
Yeah, that was a pretty wild time.
Oh, for sure. A very turbulent period.
The film doesn't shy away from that at all, showing the country dealing with the dictatorship, censorship, and all that social unrest.
Right. And that setting adds so much depth to the story. By putting this fictional story against such a significant historical backdrop, it makes you think about truth, justice, and how people find strength in tough times.
But that historical context, also made it kind of controversial.
Yeah.
Some viewers were worried about those sensitive topics, like the dictatorship and its effect on the country.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. I mean, when a film tackles these weighty themes, it's bound to get people talking, maybe even disagreeing.
Yeah.
But you could argue that the controversy helped it. People got curious, they wanted to see what it was about and engage with these challenging parts of history.
That's a good point. It seems like people weren't just looking for entertainment. They wanted something that would make them think,
Exactly. It becomes more than just a movie. It's art that makes a statement, prompts reflection on history and society.
So we have a film that's commercially successful, acclaimed internationally, and it's got people talking about Brazil's past. But let's not forget the Oscars. 3 nominations, including Best Picture, the first for a Brazilian film.
That's a huge deal. It shows how Brazilian cinema is being recognized on a global level. It's a real testament to the talent there, and it shows that audiences want to hear stories from different cultures.
And Fernanda Torres, she won a Golden Globe for Best Actress. Her performance was incredible. Critics and audiences loved it.
Yeah, her win definitely boosted the film's profile internationally, probably helped with the Oscar voters too.
Probably. It's amazing how I'm Still Here has blown past everyone's expectations. It was controversial, yeah, but that seems to have made it even more popular. People want stories that make them think and show them different perspectives.
It proves that good storytelling knows no boundaries. It can spark important conversations and leave a real impact on people all over the world.
Absolutely. So let's dig a little deeper into the film's structure and how it weaves these powerful themes into the story. We've been talking about the history behind I'm Still Here, but I'm curious about how the film actually unfolds. How would you describe the pacing and narrative?
Well, it's definitely a slow burn. It takes its time, really sets the scene in 1970s Brazil. You feel that political tension, that sense of unrest bubbling under the surface.
So not like a super fast-paced thriller.
No, not at all.
It's more about drawing the viewer into that world.
Yeah, exactly. And that slow pace lets the characters' inner lives breathe. You really feel the psychological impact of living under such a repressive regime.
Yeah.
And the director, they use all these techniques like close-ups, long takes. It really heightens the emotion and creates this feeling of intimacy, almost claustrophobia, mirroring what the characters are going through.
Wow, so the filmmaking itself reflects the character's mental state.
Exactly. It adds another layer to the story.
That's brilliant. Now, we've talked about Fernanda Torres' amazing performance, but what about the other characters? What stood out to you about how they were portrayed?
It's the depth. Even the characters with smaller roles, they feel real, they have their own motivations, their own weaknesses.
It sounds like everyone's a fully fleshed out person.
Yeah, and you see them navigating these morally gray areas, you know? There are no easy answers, no clear heroes or villains, just people making tough choices, struggling to stay true to themselves in a system where truth and justice are really hard to find.
That's so interesting, that moral ambiguity. And it all plays out against this huge historical backdrop.
Right, and that complexity, it carries over to Fernanda Torres' character, too. She's not just a victim, but she's strong, determined. She loves her husband, who's missing, and she's committed to finding out the truth.
You know, it's refreshing to see such a strong female character, especially in a setting that's traditionally patriarchal.
Absolutely. It challenges those old stereotypes. She's right at the center of the story, driving the action, dealing with the film's main themes. You know, it's a real testament to the power of representation.
For sure. And I'm Still Here tackles some pretty heavy themes. We've touched on the historical and political aspects, but what other themes resonated with you?
Memory and trauma, definitely. You see how deeply the dictatorship scarred people. It shows how the past can linger and affect the present.
So it's not just about the events themselves, but the lasting effects they have on people, how they cope and heal.
Exactly. And it doesn't sugarcoat it. It shows characters struggling with guilt, grief, loss. The film doesn't offer easy solutions. It's a realistic portrayal of how difficult healing can be.
It sounds pretty intense.
It is, but there's also hope, resilience. You see acts of courage, compassion, and people coming together to support each other.
That's powerful, finding those moments of light in the darkness.
It is. Even in the face of hardship, the film reminds you of the strength of the human spirit.
Yeah, it shows how human connection can help us through the toughest times.
For sure. It really captures the nuances of being human, you know, both the good and the bad.
So, beyond the film itself, I'm curious about how people reacted to it, both in Brazil and internationally. We know it did well at the box office, got those Oscar nods, but what about the viewers, the everyday people?
Well, the reactions have been mixed, you know. In Brazil, it sparked a lot of discussion, debate. Some people loved it. They praised how honestly it portrayed a difficult period in their history, while others felt like it was reopening old wounds.
It definitely struck a chord.
Oh, yeah. It made people think about their own past, their own country. And that's the power of this film, right? It goes beyond entertainment and makes you think, makes you feel.
And internationally.
It got a lot of praise for its artistic quality, the acting, and for shedding light on a part of history that many people might not know much about.
It seems like it transcended those cultural barriers.
It did. It gave people a glimpse into what it was like to live through such extraordinary times.
And it shows how international cinema is becoming more and more popular, right? People are looking for stories from outside of Hollywood.
Definitely. Audiences want something different, new perspectives, stories that challenge them.
It's exciting to see films like I'm Still Here getting recognition.
Totally. And this is just the start, I think. More and more international films will be making their mark, pushing boundaries, and changing the way we see cinema.
So, I'm Still Here. It's more than just a successful film. It sparked important conversations, made us think about history and resilience, and it shows the power of cinema to connect people across cultures.
And I think that impact will last for a long time. It'll keep inspiring people.
Okay, let's zoom out a little and talk about Brazilian cinema as a whole. Where does I'm Still Here fit into that landscape?
I think it marks a really important moment. It builds on the work of some amazing Brazilian directors like Fernando Meirelles, Walter Salles, Kleber Mendonça Filho. They've really paved the way for a new generation of storytellers to gain global recognition.
So it's not just a one-off, it's part of a bigger movement.
Exactly. It shows that Brazilian cinema is alive and kicking, producing films that are both artistic and commercially successful. I'm Still Here proves that Brazilian filmmakers are incredibly talented, they have a vision, and they're creating stories that resonate with people all over the world.
It's great to see Brazilian cinema getting the attention it deserves.
For sure. And it's only going to get bigger. I think we'll see more and more Brazilian films making waves globally, pushing boundaries, and shaping the future of cinema.
Now let's dive into the director's vision. How did they bring I'm Still Here to life, visually?
Visually, it's stunning. The colors, the textures, they all work together to capture the atmosphere of 1970s Brazil. You feel this sense of nostalgia, authenticity. It's like you're right there.
So the visuals really transport you back in time.
Yes, and the sound design and the music too. You hear this blend of traditional Brazilian music with modern scores. It creates this really immersive evocative soundscape.
It sounds like every detail was chosen with care to create a truly immersive experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The director's command of cinematic language is what makes I'm Still Here so much more than just a historical drama. It's art, it's sensory, it stays with you.
And the ending. Without giving anything away, how did you feel about it?
It's powerful and it makes you think. It doesn't wrap everything up neatly, It leaves you with a sense of ambiguity, space to come to your own conclusions.
So it stays true to the film's overall complexity.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what makes it so interesting. You keep thinking about the characters, the themes, even after the film is over.
It lingers in your mind.
It does. And that's the mark of great storytelling, right? Making you think, making you feel long after it's finished.
I'm Still Here definitely does that. It challenges us, it moves us, and it reminds us of the human spirit's strength, even when facing really tough times.
It's a film that'll stick with people, I think. It'll spark conversations, encourage empathy, and show us the power of cinema to connect us, to challenge us, and to illuminate the shared human experience.
Beautiful. So as we wrap up our deep dive into I'm Still Here, I'm curious about its impact on Brazilian cinema and its potential for influencing storytelling in the future.
I think it's been hugely influential. Its international success has opened doors for other Brazilian filmmakers. It's shown the world how diverse and rich Brazilian storytelling can be.
It's paving the way for even more great Brazilian films.
Absolutely. And it's not just a win for Brazil, it's a win for international cinema as a whole. It shows that audiences are hungry for stories from all over the world, stories that challenge us, broaden our perspectives, and remind us that we're all connected.
I'm Still Here really proves that good storytelling can transcend any border. It can bridge cultures and bring us together.
It's a legacy that'll keep inspiring people for generations.
Before we go, I want to leave our listeners with a final thought. I'm Still Here has started so many conversations, made people think about history, memory, and the power of the human spirit. What do you hope people will take away from this film?
Well, I hope it inspires people to be more understanding, more empathetic. I hope it encourages them to connect with others through stories, to challenge their own beliefs, and to really delve into what it means to be human. And most importantly, I hope it leaves them with a sense of hope, a belief in our ability to heal and grow, even when things are really hard.
That's a beautiful thought. I'm Still Here reminds us that cinema can move us, challenge us, and inspire us to create a more just and compassionate world.
And that's something worth celebrating.
Well said. And that concludes our deep dive into I'm Still Here.
It's been a great discussion.
It really has. Hope our listeners have enjoyed exploring this amazing film with us.
Me too.
Until next time, keep seeking out stories that challenge you, inspire you, and broaden your horizons.
Keep diving deep.
It's amazing how I'm Still Here is so deeply connected to Brazilian history and culture, but it still speaks to people all around the world.
Right. It's like it bridges these different cultures. It doesn't shy away from those specific Brazilian experiences, but it makes them relatable, universal. It shows that even with all our differences, there are these core human things that we all share.
Yeah, it's like we get to step into someone else's shoes, walk through their world, and discover that we're not so different after all.
Exactly. And I think stepping outside of our own little bubbles like that is so important. It helps us see things in a new light, understand different perspectives, and just be more compassionate.
And I'm Still Here doesn't just show us another culture. It makes us think about our own history too, and how it still affects us today.
That's so true. That whole exploration of memory and trauma is powerful. It reminds us that history isn't just in books, it lives inside us. It shapes who we are, both individually and as a society.
And sometimes, facing those difficult truths, those dark parts of the past, can help us heal and move forward.
It's important, right? Especially nowadays when it's easy to forget or ignore those complexities.
I'm Still Here reminds us that we need to engage with history, even the tough parts.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be all serious and academic. Art, like this film, can make exploring history engaging and emotional.
For sure. I'm Still Here is entertaining, it's thought-provoking, it makes you feel things.
He does it all. It's a testament to the filmmakers, how they crafted such a powerful story that's both personal and universal.
So for anyone who hasn't seen I'm Still Here yet, what would you say to convince them to watch it?
Get ready to be transported. It'll take you to a different time and place, challenge you, move you, maybe even change you. It's a story about what it means to be human, and it'll stay with you long after it's over.
Beautifully said. Well, I think that brings our deep dive into I'm Still Here to a close.
It's been a great discussion.
It really has. Thank you for joining us on this journey exploring this incredible film.
My pleasure.
We hope you've enjoyed it. Until next time, keep searching for those stories that challenge you, inspire you, and open up new worlds.
And never stop diving deep.